thing on. Let's try Obis. It's Obis. Yay, I got it. Neaterino. The hands have latency. They added like a smoothing effect or something. As long as they don't nuke the face tracking, I won't complain. I mean, the hands are fun, seizure prone to all hell, but can't recognize when I'm holding boobas. I found out they can be above my head. Oh, they're not registering. Huh, whatever. Hey boy, what if I just leave my hands down? Yeah, hands down time. Wait, can I be zoomed in? I want to be zoomed up. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. Okay, clear. Like, my finger's on my chin. I wonder why they don't calibrate it like that. Like, my finger is off my face when it's over here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at this hand tracking. Wait, no, come on. Come on. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Doesn't like doing this. Come on. Spider hands. Oh, these hands, fast hands that everybody cans. Every time. It's like it knows how to flip itself. Look at this. I'm reading your palm. Meh, 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 meh. Boop, boop, beep, 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 beep. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't really have anything to record today. I did see somebody in the Discord that I don't recognize. I think they had just joined the Discord. The same time I was like, I still had an open link. I thought I didn't. I thought they were all expired and they popped in. I think that's them. They might be somebody whose name's changed. I don't know. But they were like, I wonder if they had edited their comment or something, because it didn't make grammatical or English sense. It confused Vegeta as well. They're like, I don't understand what you mean by that. And I'm like, same here. I'm reading it and I'm like, I get the gist. Basically, they're wondering, where have I been? When am I going to stream? They're a bit saddened that I'm not doing anything, and that's really sweet. Didn't think anybody would care on a daily basis. Look at that spider hand. I mean, Vegeta does. It's just I feel guilty about that. Ooh, I got a fist. The thumb. Man. Wait, fist bump. Oh, I just hit myself in the face. Oh boy. But yeah, I haven't been doing anything. I've been stuck on Japanese time. And I've said this a lot of times. I don't know if I've explained what Japanese time is. So I'm 12 hours perfectly behind Japan. So they're literally on the other side of the world perfectly from my time zone of EST. And when my sleep is the way it is right now, because it's like, 9 a.m., I'm going to bed. So it's been 9 hours already into the day, but I'm going to be waking up at anywhere between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And thusly, when I wake up, it's not like most people when they go to bed at like late noon, it's already, I guess, the next day. But if they went to bed at like any normal time you would go to bed, it's like when you wake up, it is a new day. When I wake up, it's like you have another 6 hours and it's and then it's the new day. So it's really screwy. It really throws out your understanding of the day. You're just like, I don't know what day it is. Is it Wednesday, Thursday? It's going to be another day in 6 hours time, you know? But yeah. Um, what is the main reason why I'm not streaming? Okay, that's actually one I can update. The main reason, so I had a good flow going on outside of my sleep getting screwed up, and then yeah, I think the stressor that really nipped me in the butt, because I was actually being very productive, is that my grandpa is living in the basement again. Um, he he still hasn't really gotten whatever he was sick with fixed. It's more or less just constantly nursing whatever was hurting him, whether it been a kidney stone or just something going on. Now he does have an actual cold. We It's not COVID. This is what he sounds like when he had a cold. Many times he's lived with us. So he's kind of quarantining himself in the basement. What does that have to do with me not streaming? Well, I've gotten really used to being myself without having to worry about somebody in the basement, and just in general I have to like tiptoe around him because he's a sensitive person. There's like topics I can't bring up. It just sucks. I'm having to tiptoe and censor and be super even more like aware than I already am. It sucks. It really does. Uh, they all say, my mom says, he says, like, oh, I can't hear you, or this and that. But the streams I want to do and what I was working on, I would be stampeding around, and I'm really thinking, because me and mom have been working on trying to figure out a new plan for the house, like if I should go to the basement again, which I haven't slept in the basement since the day I got sick, so there's a lot of trauma in the basement. But it has so much big space, and I wouldn't be terrorized about like I'm bothering somebody, because we all had like that experience where like somebody above you is like stamping around, whether you're in like an apartment complex or just a regular house or a hotel. It's just considerate, not if you can, not exist above somebody else if you're not ground floor. Just don't do a bunch of crazy shit and dance on their heads, because the house is pretty good. It's not the best. It has squeaky areas, but yeah, it wouldn't be perfect either if I did move to the basement, because squeaky down there. Like you would probably be able to hear. And so me and mom have been looking into like, what is it called? Soundproofing. I had recommended it, and then I had dropped it because I saw how expensive the panels are. The panels that every YouTuber has behind them. It's an aesthetic. They never do the whole wall anymore, and it's just like, dude. Like, I just want a sound booth that's like the whole cube is protected, but that'd be expensive, and people only get stuff like that for really serious work on either music or voice acting, but mainly music. Um, but yeah, it wouldn't be it wouldn't work much anyways, because I want to do dance streams, which like I said, it's a whole song and dance. The mic situation I was still trying to figure out. I mean, you guys heard me pretty well on the stream, the test stream. Oh, and that's another reason. Okay. So, before my grandpa came back, the reason I have been really hesitant to stream is because I don't have any disk space. Remember how I told you on this stream that there were games on Steam that were super cheap, so this was the time to go and buy them, because they're dirt cheap, like $50 games for $5, no joke, or $3. It was, I don't know how they got away with that, but I bought so many games, and they all downloaded. I think South Park one was smaller and the other one was way bigger, and then two other things. In my disk space, I have 32 gigabytes, I think, left, but my computer be stressing. And I have a fragile little perfectionistic mindset that if I go and try to stream and it's already going to be a high demand stream because I want to do it with the whole, you know, what you saw on the last stream, I am 100% confident that my computer will not function properly and it'll not shut down, but would melt down, and the stream would cut off. It would be laggy, my phone wouldn't, and then things would be loud because my computer's not overheating, but overclocking, like CPU going high. um, so yeah, I kind of screwed the pooch on that. um, I had also mentioned, that I bought the South Park game, and oh my god, I'm so grateful. How did anybody play that? Like, really, how did anybody play that? Oh my god, there's so many scenes. It's been a blessing being able to play it at night. I haven't played it in 4 days. Um, but it's been a blessing to play it at night because it's like you're constantly looking over your shoulder like, You're like, mother, please don't open the door. There's literally a whole scene. There's a whole scene where your character gets shrunk down and you go through mouse holes, and at one point your character's parents are doing the do, and you literally go, like, see it in the background as you're like walking around on the desk, and then you literally are under them as they're doing that. And it's just it's not censored. There is no censor option. How would I possibly been able to stream any of that? So I am not expecting the next game. So what I'm playing is the Stick of Truth. The next game, um, what is it called? It's the superhero one, which I'm super excited. Like, I've really dived into South Park. I'm like, I'm into a fandom when I'm like, all right, we're doing a fanfic dump. Let's go. Let's see fan art. Let's see fan comics. I'm a little gremlin monster. God, I found somebody who does amazing animations, and they they have to be young because the way they say they're still in school, but they hate everything they do. But it's like literally, it's a studio quality. Like, they were making them so fast and now it's taking longer, but the quality went so far up. I hope they're doing well mentally because they really need somebody to smack them against like a table and be like, "Hey, you're doing this with your finger on flip a clip on your Android phone. And you're doing over like 1,500 frames and you're doing it 15 frames a second. Are you kidding me? You have no idea." Oh, you're hearing the toilets. Mom's going to the bathroom. But it's super impressive. But yeah, basically, why I'm not streaming right now. I ran out of disk space, then Grandpa came, and now Grandpa's sick, and then we just did something with the mortgage because the car hasn't died yet, but it is killing us. Like, I can't open the door, and I've thrown out my arm and shoulder multiple times. I've strained them for consecutive days because the door won't open anymore, and you have to really just yank on it, and it still is not a guarantee it'll open. And then you try the other side, and the other side's fucked, and you're like, oh my god. That alone is like, we need a new car. So the whole reason we did the mortgage on the house is to get an expensive car. It's still going to be, used, but it's going to be like the most money any of us have ever spent on a car. And we're hoping that'll last us like 10 years because it's a good chunk of money for the car. But it's been stressful because to get that money, I have to be involved. And good news, house is in my name. Bad news, 30-year mortgage. And whatever was also on top of that, I don't know, I like money. It's working out. We got to just do a test drive for like a 2010 Honda Odyssey, Honda Odyssey, which we like minivans, vans or whatever you call them, minivans, like family car. We just love the space. We've always had vans. Vans are good, and yeah, that the only thing about the older models is the roofs had kind of went down an inch, and so you feel a little bit cramped and cluttered. But it's a very solid car. It doesn't have anything wrong with it. Um, I don't know. It's yeah. Looking for cars is always like an entire struggle. It's mentally exhausting, and I'm not even the one having to do all the research. I'm just like the critic that you do all the homework, and because like the majority of the car these days now, since yeah, COVID and not going to the stores and stuff, because we did reselling. We still do, but it's very slow. Um, it's just a lot. Um, so one thing I found out, I've learned with myself with time, is that if I try to force myself to stream when I'm actually like there's like streaming because you know it's better for you and you'll eventually ease into it and you weren't really in the mood. But I've been having stream mutism where I am like mentally preparing myself to start setting up a stream, which takes about a half hour or 15 minutes, depending on whatever I'm trying to set up. Because, you know, I'm not perfect. I don't have everything at the touch of a button. I'm sure my setup is lackluster at best, garbage at worst. I try. I try. But like I get in this mental headspace where I literally develop a selective mutism where I was like talking to, because I talk to myself all the time. That's why recording videos like this is like nothing to me. I'm always talking. I'm always talking because I have no one to talk to. And frankly, I like just talking to myself because I can't write anything. I don't have any writing comprehension skills. So, like, what people like write little stories, I just verbalize it. I mean, it like makes me look completely crazy, I'm sure. But it's like no harm, no foul. It's like I make sure not to bother anybody to keep it at a quiet pace. But it's like, um, I guess it's kind of like daydreaming, but not really. Like, I'm very present. It's not like some weird psychosis thing. It's literally just me talking to myself and playing a story through my head and sometimes speaking it out loud because I can't write for nothing. And I've thought about recording. I've done dubs before. Um, it's just the perfectionism. I'm doing animations on my tablet now. Um, and even that, it's like I really want to get my OCD, not OCD, my ADHD medicine like back on board. Even though don't know if it was the best, because I've really been stuck, and I'm having a lot of ADHD, or is it ADHD? I just took my night meds, so I'm kind of foggy right now. I don't know. I would like to indulge myself in streaming, um, but I just literally don't feel able, not comfortable, because I would eventually, well, like comfortable too. I don't feel comfortable. It's like having a giant presence looming over you. but they're in the basement. And the disk space. I have basically for the past 5 days, 5 days solid, I have refused to make any real progress on anything in general. Everything's painful. Like, even doing color by number, I'm degrading myself to, like, oh, you're not doing this fast enough. Oh, you messed it up. Now you have to start it all over because you can't find all these, and now there are too many parts of colors are missing, blah, blah, blah. I tried drawing, and within, like, 22 minutes, I'm eating away at my psyche. The animation, the entire progress of that was like a good vibe, bad vibe, good vibe, bad vibe, good vibe, bad vibe, and then you see how far you progressed, and it's just a simple like blink, and then I started working on, okay, if I'm going to have a hair flow, is it going to be affected by a wind thing, so it kind of moves, and I laid a rough tail. At that point, I had kind of given up. I don't have any like solid purpose when making these things. Oh, dreamy. Oh, you got a bomb, baby. I gotta let the dog out. Where's your baby? She's going to daycare today. She needs it. I've been driving her crazy all day today. Go get him, baby. It's a good girl. Hopefully she doesn't claw the door to get back in. Poor thing. I feel really bad with Dreamy because like where I'm living, we've had ice on the road, so even I couldn't go on rides with my mom as comfort. Like usually I have my trampoline, and yes, I shovel the snow off the trampoline, but I can't even afford that luxury because once it gets below freezing, so like 32, my trampoline, the metal and the springs, if you were to jump on that and you're 200 pounds, you're breaking the trampoline. I've learned how to like, because I've broken through and went through a lot of trampolines, so I know I'm very spiritually connected to my trampoline. I know what its limits are. But that's my only sensory, like, make me feel better, ground me, kind of like it's a soothing thing, because I listen to music and I jump on the trampoline. Not really. I'd like walk around and try to pretend like people don't know who I am. Just some 22-year-old on their Olympic trampoline in the front lawn that they've tried to get rid of a few times, and that doesn't feel good. It feels wrong to say that I feel like I'm still a kid. Like I don't want to be childish and I don't want to be treated like a kid, but it's like I think it's a bit of the autism spectrum and just everything going on that the world is moving way faster and growing up faster than I am. There was a YouTuber, Raytana. She basically built her whole universe, like her own original story, where like playground equipment is normal and anybody can play on it. And she's like, basically, in my understanding, she's like, why wouldn't you be able to? Right? It shouldn't be like, there's no reason to like shame people for wanting to go at a playground. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because, you know, playgrounds are fun, and it's not weird when the adults or the teenagers go and revisit and they're like, haha, we're just like kids. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to be a kid to like this stuff. It's just, you know, you're more mature, so be mindful of the kids. And that's never a problem. It's just, it feels weird if you just see a bunch of, you know, it's weird. I wish I would not have gotten aware that it's very weird that everybody knows I get older and older. I get older and older and older, and I'm still doing the same stuff, and I'm pretty sure they have their own reserves or judgments or ideas about us. And that doesn't bother me, only when it gets confirmed that I know they think that. That sucks, right? Because I can't help, the illusion of, well, maybe they're judging me. It's like, well, that maybe is comforting. Like, that was bound to happen. But when it gets confronted, here's one for you. So, not our right across neighbor, the one next to it. I call it the yellow house. The guy there is very nice. He has grandkids. He's very active. He mows his lawn a lot. Very, very nice people. I don't think we know his name, but he's helped us, just like, when grandpa was out and we were still trying to figure out my health. We had our lawn was very neglected, and there were times he would just mow his lawn and then our lawn. But he I can't remember if he stopped doing that and just waited to see, because we were trying to get our footing. Because I would try to mow the lawn, and then either the lawnmower would break. The lawnmower kept breaking, and I'd get frustrated. And I'm like, well, now half the lawn is done. It's going to look like shit. It was already shit. It was a lot of work getting it even semi-decent. And he comes by and mows the rest of it, because it's my mom's turn at that point, because I'm frustrated. I'm wanting to cry. So that's sweet of him. My only critique about him doing all that, because that's great, he keeps saying, like, my mom's like, oh, thank you, you're so sweet and kind, you take care of us when we struggle. And he always says this exact same thing, along the lines, I had it, but my brain is fogging. Along the lines, he says, like, you guys do what you can do, and you work hard, and I can tell. And God, I wish I remembered the exact way he said it, because the way I'm going to say it's probably going to sound worse, because it's not, because he's a nice guy. He's just saying, what's true. It's true that, that we struggle, we try, and we hit a lot of walls. And then he makes a comment about, he tells my mom, like, something along the lines of, like, she's a good mom, and what she does for me is completely understandable, or something along those lines. Shoot, I wish I had it and it went away. But what gets me about that is because the words I can't remember he says, the whole feeling I get from that is because basically he says something that makes me aware that he knows the frequency of our struggles. He knows that I'm special needs in ways and disabled. He knew that before. I'm sure my mom even told him that. And that I jump on the trampoline all the time, and he's aware of that. Just having all of those things that you are aware of, and other people could be aware of, but then they're actually aware of, it really just kind of sucks. Because they're not even, like, thankfully, he's kind. He's not, there's no malicious in his body or anything. It just, you're expected, like, when you get confronted about anything, that it's not a good thing. And so your body is already just, makes you feel bad. Like you're a failure. And it's so stupid and trivial because it's like, my logic isn't flawed into why everything happens the way it happens. Like, it's it's not socially unacceptable for somebody older to jump on playground equipment, my trampoline that I own. It is unusual that they know I've been there for a long time. They probably have an approximate age. They have probably seen or heard bits and pieces because my mom used to garage sale all the time everywhere. So, you know, we're in touch with neighbors. We have a neighbor just over here that we call them Neighbor Dave. Um, it's just being socially aware of social situations that still kind of get you kind of a look. Not like it's the acknowledgement of oddity, I guess, that sucks. Like I would think I would almost rather be completely ridiculed cuz this like tantalizing, like everybody's aware of it, but I don't know how strong their emotion about it is. It drives me crazy, right? I always used to say I'd rather be punched than, like, just punch me or slap me. Don't just poke me. If you poke me, I can't stand it. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. It's just your poking is like stabbing me. So just please stab me. That's the all or nothing. Like, seriously, I've been BPD my whole life and it explains everything. My mom used to say all the time, was like, you're contradicting again. I'm like, well, what's a contradiction? It's basically from one extreme to the other extreme. That's like, I want to go outside. I want to stay inside. That's a contradiction, right? Kind of a thing. But yeah, I started this video and I didn't really have, I was just playing around in the beginning. So let's see if I can summarize this better. I'm not streaming. I was planning on all kinds of good stuff. I was on a good high. That high got ruined a bit by my sleep getting messed up. Then my disk space got full because I bought games and my sleep still was messed up. Then Grandpa needed to live here again. Then the mortgage. Then my sleep is really messed up, and I just got an inkling today that it might be my time of the month, period wise, getting there. So that's going to be either a drag on for a week, or it might come in the next few days, or it might come in the next 3 weeks because it's an ass. So I'm just stuck. I'm very stuck. When I get stuck, my mom doesn't understand how I've survived this long, right? Like, most people, I feel like I have PTSD is what it is. Because when I get stuck, now it's traumatizing. But I do very well at dealing with it. Just, you know, if you can't fix it, live with it, distract, right? Everything they teach you in, like, just to deal with normal stuff. Like, if you have no coping skills and you need therapy, and then they give you a whole list of stuff. I've already done that my entire life. That's why the counselors are like, oh, you actually, oh, okay, you get it. You're ahead on the curve, okay. You're aware. I'm like, yeah, I don't like being stuck. I don't like being hurt. I don't like being in pain or sad. My brain and my logic side is just like, hey, if you have a problem, fix it. Let's talk it through. Let's see what can be adjusted, what can be protected, what can be learned, what can be changed, and what's the payoff? Is there a payoff? Is there anything we really can do? No, yes, no, yes. And then you just kind of work from there. That's been me my entire life. Everything is pre-calculated. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. There's all kinds of stuff I want to do. And I hate that I keep putting myself down. I've never had self-esteem issues. Like, seriously, I am so behind on growing up. It's crazy. Like, I already had documented, like, I'm behind by 2 to 3 grades on, like, you know, certain subjects or just generalized education, right? I was a bit behind. But when you put me in a class that doesn't do all the extra bullshit for no reason and you just do the core mechanics and it's all like almost personalized one-on-one, boom, perfect, straight A kid. All of a sudden, who would have guessed you work with the kid and not against the kid can succeed, right? I've never had self-esteem issues, even though I like literally I didn't start shaving my legs till like junior high. Even when kids started pointing that out, it's like, you need to shave your legs. And I'm like, I'm scared of the razor. It's not something and it just gets prickly all over again. So it's like, I'm still in elementary. It's just blah. And I've had people stand up for me about that. Just other stuff too. It's just I'm behind. But yeah, the self-esteem. Never had that. Never. Like, I've been sad or aware that I'm like, well, maybe I'm a bit heavy or maybe this, but like, it had no authority and no real drastic intent. Like, it didn't have any power. Like, my self-esteem, like, noticing small things that I still notice now, and now they're big things, right? They have more oomph to them now because, I have nothing better to do than think. I've never had self-esteem issues, and I should have had a lot of that. My brain's so smart, it protected me in all the right ways in the right time. Now, I think it's realizing I'm getting to 25, and that's when your brain is kind of pretty much done growing. So, yeah. Self-esteem issues anyway. But yeah, I got a nice, sweet comment from the Facebook friendo guy, a Spanish guy. I think he spoke Spanish. I don't know the difference between Spanish and Anyway, I got a message from them and it was really sweet. They're like, I don't know if you remember me. And I'm like, dude, I literally have been thinking about you because I've had nothing to think about. And I was cleaning my phone and I found, because I have so much like Reality Genta, like way back 2 years. Oh my God. I would have more on my other phone. Maybe not. This was like this is my VTuber phone. But he made what is it called? A promotional image or something, like to advertise, like she will be live streaming on Facebook, because he invited me. He was the first I considered big step. Well, actually might have been one of them. I had a really good streak. I don't want to think about it. It's going to make me cry. Miss those days. But it was a big deal to me that they had a very prominent Facebook page and that he reached out, and he helped me. And this was when I was like, I don't know what I'm doing streaming wise. He helped a lot. It was interesting. I can't remember if we did talk. We must have, because I struggled with Facebook's streaming system, I think. Yeah, he had a really nice voice. Anyways, he commented and said, I don't know if you remember me. He's a VTuber now, and I had rewritten my comment reply multiple times, and the final draft that I sent back, replied with, it left out the one part where I was like, I'd love to, because this is where I'm at. I mentioned the Discord. I had like a collab opportunity, and Literally, he commented, the Facebook guy commented on the video where I was talking about the VTuber purge, and I'm like, oh, right. I said no collabs, no nothing. I need to stop doing that. And I'm like, but Mocha. And so I haven't responded to Mocha yet because I'm mind fucking myself so hard. Like, I have neglected all social medias. Like, when I check them, it's a panic attack. I literally go, click, click, okay, click, click, and I'm out. It's like nobody should just do that. Like, you know it's not good for you, but I I don't want to abandon things completely. Like, I worry perpetually, like, even on Instagram, that I have like two people, more than probably two people, but I have two people who, my mama, she follows me back on there, I think. Maybe not. I watch her content all the time. But she knows my Instagram because she plugged me when I was going to debut um, for Idol Genta way back. And that was a huge big deal to me because I respect her so much. And I feel bad every time I melt down because it's very public. I put it in the story and I still see she checks the story even if it's probably like just passing, right? Because you can skip, right? But even that is like scary because I don't want to be I know people will leave me because of me, and that is completely what they should do. If somebody makes you feel uncomfortable or they're just not something you want to see around anymore, you leave, just like I left. It is hard when it happens to you, and I just kind of fear waiting for that to happen. I think thankfully I'm probably more sidelined, forgotten, and not like digested, like they want to get rid of me yet. The other person on Instagram is uh, Lilith Vampira. I never got her first name right, but she's from My Hollow. She is a wonderful marvel. I don't know how. I guess My Hollow and Hollow Live ID and some, I don't, maybe not all Niji Sanji. There's a handful of like famous VTubers that have an Instagram account, or well-known VTubers that have an Instagram account, and I didn't know this until like Lilith Vampira followed me and commented, and she, like, I make sure to like her stuff and she comes back still and likes something or checks my story, and I'm just terrified. I want to be myself, but being myself scares a lot of people, and it's not something you probably want to see on an everyday, and when you do see it, it's out of nowhere. um, it's a shitty situation because, like I said, if it was me, I would leave, and I have left. And so I'm just kind of waiting for the other side of the coin to drop, and it sucks because I don't want people to leave me, even though it's selfish that I've left people. Like, I can only control one intake or outtake. Like, still to this day, even all the people in my past, like, I. Right, they're outside. She's gonna eat poop. I don't know if you can hear this, but the walls are thin, and I guess my mom brought Dreamy out in the front lawn. I can hear him through my walls. She looks for poop because we have a cat that multiple cats that do their whole thing. Anyway, shit, I was on an emotional tangent, and I'm like, okay, I know what I was gonna say. There's still people that I consider friends, even though I pretty much dejected them. I still scream and cry in my head, and I've wanted for so long, like I've written, if I can ever write stuff, it's a big deal. For me to get any progress on that, it's a big deal. And I haven't lost momentum. My problem is the people I want to put in them, I still hold dear, even though I probably hurt a lot of them, and a lot of them have hurt me. And it's not their fault. Some of them, you know, they had traumatic shit happen to them and they needed to leave, or they felt like this wasn't their calling anymore and they had to leave, or whatever it may be, they left, stopped being a VTuber, or something like that. I want to add them to, like, you know, like I need my creative, because even though I fucked everything up and it's my fault, I still love them and I miss them. And there's, you know, like, even when it was bad, it wasn't bad, it's just because of me being so sensitive, I treated it so poorly. Like, the way I treated it was like they murdered somebody, that's how badly, and just to, like, I want to be their friends again, but it's just not healthy, but it's also not healthy for me to have these memories of them and have nothing to do with it. That's why I want to add them on the video. But I'm afraid, you know, of maybe hurting them. I'm afraid that other people wouldn't understand it. It's like the last thing I want to do is it even be passive aggressive. It's just, I'm trying to remember what I had written down. It's all in a journal. It's just all this creativity. I have determined being apparently miserable is better than trying to be happy. I'm recording. Go. I don't know. It's the BPD, it's the contradicting. Like I said, no more collabs, just focus on me. And it was great. It was like the old days. I finally did it. I went back to the old days, and it didn't last more than 3 days, and then all this other stuff happened. And I respect the hell out of people that can have so much going on in their lives and they still function and they still move and do shit, even though a lot of crap gets in the way. They're still able to do it. At that point, I just am so discouraged and mentally fucking ripped. I just can't. And it sucks because I feel like a worthless crybaby that is like making every excuse under the sun, and I hate that. I hate that. Every time I hear my mom's like, oh, well, maybe it's the moon, or oh, well, maybe it's this, I'm like, you're not fucking helping. It is nothing more than I need to discipline and get something. I don't know. I feel mad. It's like I want to know, is what's wrong with me a thing, and is it actually a thing, and if not, am I, what can I do to get productive and keep productive? And then I go down the rabbit hole of, well, are you even happy? And I'm like, I'm never happy. I've said that ever since I was 13. I'm never happy. It's not about happiness. It's about, is this worthwhile? Is there a payoff? I treat everything like it's a job. My entire life I treat it like it's a job because it was a job to survive. I have so much I want to express. I just am terrified because everybody else can talk about things, but I can't, because I can't handle what others would say. And it's like, well, if don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I'm like, that's my entire life right there. I don't have horrible things to say, even though I feel horrible about the situation or about what happened, and I should be able to speak my voice. Like, you have no idea how fucking afraid I was, and that's why that one video is members only. When I had said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do my emotion right now, fuck this, and I was like, I can't have that public, because to me, it's exactly what the one person did. They're like, I want to express myself. And I'm like, I feel like if I put that shoe on, I will only get demon hunted for. And I'm not even doing it out of malicious. It's just like a vent. Because my goal is not to demonize or hurt or vindict anybody. Like, I don't want to drag anybody down, even though, with me trying to figure out if I want to, like, be in their lives again or say hi and say I'm sorry. Like, I want to beg to them for, I don't know, being an idiot. Like, apologize. Or the other extreme is like, I just want them to disappear off the face of the earth. And that's never gonna happen. It's stupid. It's all stupid. It's stupid. I don't like getting compliments. I feel like I don't like them. I've never liked positivity when it comes to anything I say, because I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't know, we could try criticism. I don't know, I probably wouldn't handle any. It's like, what do I expect people to reply after hearing all this? Keep trying, Genta. You can do it. Or you need to get over it and move your butt. It's like, at which point, who's talking? Am I telling you what to say? Or are you saying the right thing? Or are we all saying the wrong thing? Oh my god. It's just, I need to get out of my head. I just need to get out of it. So yeah, yeah. I haven't been able to make progress. I forgot one bit. I just remembered. I was making progress with the Vroid outfits. Only problem is now that my RAM is so full, like even just with Vroid, it's kicking not so good. And so I'm like, if it ain't doing Vroid very well, it's not going to handle a fully functioning stream. So we might need to call. I have a whole 2 terabytes on another drive, and I don't know how to. He said something. I have a computer guy. He's not super expensive. He's awesome. I just feel horrible about being anything and everywhere.
We're gonna take the dog.
Can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Is she throwing up?
No.
Shit. Alright, well, that's everything I got. I gotta go help my baby.